On the 2nd of October, Robert De Niro shared some interesting developments on Martin Scorsese's The Irishman. The gangster movie which De Niro is producing and starring in as the lead is currently in post-production and is scheduled for release on Netflix in late 2019. Much has been made about how a Scorsese gangster movie, which also stars Al Pacino, Joe Pesci and Harvey Keitel, was unable to secure funding by a Hollywood film studio, mainly due to the huge budget required to successfully digitally de-age the main cast for flashback scenes in the film. With the movie now belonging to Netflix, the question has arose as to whether the film will be released in cinemas. For a while now, Netflix have been notoriously strict in their dogma of releasing films on their streaming platform exclusively, but in search of Academy Awards, in recent times, they have begun to give some of their high-profile movies such as Roma limited cinema runs in order to qualify for the Oscars. De Niro recently spoke about how he didn't know what was going on with the release of the movie, but it seems he is in the know now, as on Sunday he said, "We've talked about it with Netflix. They are going to do a presentation of our film the way it should be, in a theatre, in certain venues, the best theatrical venues they can be. How they resolve it is, in the beginning, they will show it on the big screen. We're talking about big venues where it would play, where it should play, and what happens after that, I'm not sure." He also spoke about Netflix's role as the producers, in that they mainly let the filmmakers get on with things themselves, saying they left us alone and left Marty alone to do it the way it should be done. On the de-aging CGI, he added, "Marty wants to do this as best as it has been done to this point, to make us look younger." And he also said that being able to do work without makeup gave the actors a lot of freedom. He then talked of an upcoming movie in which he will work with both Martin Scorsese and Leonardo DiCaprio, but aside from a quick "it's happening," didn't elaborate. Now this all sounds great, confirmation that The Irishman will be released in cinemas. But for those who have been following this film, or at least are familiar with Netflix's handling of major releases, this isn't anything new. We already know that The Irishman will be released in cinemas. That's not what is being questioned. What many film fans are worried about is that the movie will only have a short, limited release in select theatres, meaning the average person can't see the movie in cinemas and will have to catch it on Netflix. And De Niro's comments seem to confirm that this will be the case, when he mentions certain venues and the best theatrical venues. So unless you're living in one of the major places in the US like New York and have a heap of cash, it seems you're out of luck and won't be able to see all these great actors on the big screen. I don't even think the question as to whether the movie will get a wide release is even up for debate anymore. So many people have said that it will get a short release and then head to Netflix. And the company doesn't have a reason to release the movie in cinemas other than to have it qualify for awards. In fact, they have an incentive to ensure it is only released on their streaming platform alone, to attract new customers and to increase the quality of their exclusive products. So sorry guys, we're going to have to face it, we won't be seeing this film in cinemas. But look on the bright side, the film actually got made in the end, and as De Niro says, on Scorsese's terms, with no overbearing producer over his shoulder. Joe Pesci finally came aboard after significant doubt of his involvement. The production was handed almost a $200 million budget. There's so many advantages that the film has that it wouldn't have had it not been produced by Netflix. In fact, if it wasn't for Netflix, this film wouldn't have even been made. So we can curse Netflix all we want, but all they've done really is seize on an opportunity to produce a film with one of the best directors of all time. If you're unhappy that the film won't get a major release, then really your frustrations and fingers should be pointed at the big studios of today, who finance terrible big budget movies like Catwoman, the Ben-Hur remake, Green Lantern and The Last Airbender, all of which were made with budgets for $100 million or more, and yet somehow everyone's passed on The Irishman. Anyway, on a lighter note, De Niro's comments on an upcoming Scorsese and DiCaprio project sounds interesting. All three starred in a Scorsese-directed casino advert called The Audition a few years ago, and an actual movie collaboration sounds enticing. I wonder what it'll be. I do remember a while back De Niro mentioning he'd like to do a project with the other two, and Scorsese has said that it was a matter of finding a project that would work for the both of them. There was talk that Scorsese had 3 projects lined up after Silence, one with De Niro, one with DiCaprio, and one with both. The one with De Niro is obviously The Irishman, the one with DiCaprio is Devil in the White City, so perhaps the movie that De Niro says is happening is the Killers of the Flower Moon picture that is confirmed to be Scorsese's and DiCaprio's next picture. So maybe De Niro's going to be in this movie as well. Either way, a Scorsese and De Niro pair up is always something special. Thanks for watching.